Oye Meloda, spooky disembodied voice of Mickey here, because I have some more cryptid stuff for you. I want to once again mention that the field of cryptozoology has two sides to it. The study of natural creatures newly discovered, and the search for proposed species, be they supernatural or mythological. This is a part 2, so if you missed the first one, I'll toss a link in the description so you can check it out afterwards. One example of the more scientifically grounded cryptozoology is a new species of orca that washed ashore on a beach in New Zealand in 1955. They had stubby, rounded heads, particularly spiky dorsal fins, and unusually small eye patches. It was documented as a genetic fluke, pardon the pun, and nothing more. Just some strange mutation in a species, and that was that. Then, in 2005, some pictures of similar-looking orcas surfaced, pardon the pun again, off the coast of Chile. Robert Pittman of NOAA took notice and was convinced this was a new, undiscovered species of orca. 14 years later, he was proven right, and the Type D orca is on its way to becoming a new documented species. However, until then, it's technically a cryptid. Now, one of the main reasons cryptozoology is so complex is that a lot of these new species tend to inhabit places that are not very accessible to humans, like the middle of a jungle, deep in a forest, or in the middle of the Pashang Ocean. And although some proposed creatures have tons of tribal lore and even eyewitness accounts, finding them can be a bit tricky, especially when the elusive creatures are hiding in the past. The Shunka-Warakan. For this entry, I'm pulling directly from J.W. Auker's The United States of Cryptids, a tour of American myths and monsters. Since one of the best articles I came across during my research was an excerpt from that book, one of the most compelling things about this cryptid is we have evidence it existed. Here's a picture of it. It was killed and taxidermied, just like Cocaine Bear. However, it later went missing, just like Cocaine Bear. Unfortunately, it was never recovered and given a prominent display in a mall in Lexington, Kentucky like Cocaine Bear, so we don't have the ability to test its genetics. Or that's what I thought. Here's the story. Something has been preying on domesticated animals across the plains of Montana for centuries, below most of which burn angry red squiggly lines when typed into Microsoft Word. Shunka-Warakan, Ringdocus, Gaius ticketus, but it's also been called the Beast and the Rocky Mountain Hyena. In fact, any name but wolf. Although the creature could easily be called a wolf, perhaps that's because wolves were extinct in the state for about half of the 20th century. But that's a blip in the Shunka-Warakan's reign of terror. Whatever they are, they're known to attack dogs and cows and sheep and anything else served up on a fenced-in platter. If we only had a carcass, we could figure out what this creature is once and for all. Oh wait, it turns out we do. It's on display in a museum in Montana. In 1886, in the Madison Valley of Montana, a settler named Israel Amon Hutchins had a problem. Something was attacking his animals and the animals of other farmers and ranchers in the area. Something dark and canine-like that screamed in the night like nothing he'd ever heard. One morning, he awoke to his dogs barking and jumped out of bed to find the canid chasing his geese. The beast had a dark coat, high shoulders, and a slanted back. Hutchins finally got a shot at it, but missed, killing one of his cows instead. The next time he got it in his sights, though, he missed the cow and killed the cryptid. Hutchins traded the carcass to a businessman named Joseph Sherwood in exchange for a new cow. Sherwood was also a taxidermist, so he mounted the creature and showcased it in his combo grocery store/museum in Henry Lake, Idaho. He dubbed it Ringdocus for reasons unknown. The Ringdocus outlasted Sherwood and was on display at least into the 1980s, and then it disappeared. Dead cryptids can be as hard to find as live ones. The only physical evidence of the stuffed Ringdocus was a black and white photo of the beast published in 1977 in the autobiography of naturalist Ross Hutchins, the grandson of the original monster and cow slayer. In the photo, the creature looks wolf-like, but not quite like a wolf. Something about the shape of its face and the arch of its back is different. The photo was captioned Gaius ticketus, which some have offered as a cheeky name for something fake made to sell tickets. The story of the creature and the frustrating disappearance of its corpse continued to circulate. Meanwhile, Lance Foster, a historic site preservationist, paranormal enthusiast, and member of the Loway tribe, speculated the beast could have been a Shunka-Warakan. a canid, non-wolf beast from Native American lore that would sneak into camps at night and make off with dogs. The name translates to carries off dogs. After one particularly fierce battle with the Shunka-Warakan, in which the tribe was victorious, they took pieces of its hide to place into sacred bundles that they wore during battle to make them as hard to kill as the Shunka-Warakan had been. The name took off after it was used by Loren Coleman in his book Cryptozoology A to Z. Eventually, another of Israel Hutchins' grandsons, Jack Kirby, got on the case. He learned that after Sherwood's museum shut down, the entire taxidermy collection was donated to the Idaho Museum of Natural History in Pocatello, where it was all put into storage. Soon after that, he learned that one of these taxidermied beasts under the dusty sheets was the Shunka-Warakan itself. It was 4 feet long, 28 inches at the shoulder, dark gray in color, with a low head and sloping back. Vague stripes could be seen on its flanks. Kirby was able to convince the museum to loan it to the Madison Valley History Museum in Ennis, Montana, where it's been on display for more than a decade. Kirby took it there himself, although he first stopped off at his grandfather's grave to reunite the mortal enemies turned cryptozoology legends. Today, the creature is the museum's most popular exhibit. They just call it the Beast. But what is it? The Shunka-Warakan of legend? A canine mutant? A wolf-dog hybrid? A dog-coyote hybrid? A hyena? A hyena hybrid? Canids are extremely malleable crossbreeders, as anyone who's seen a Frenchie pug knows. Or is it just a bad taxidermy mount? Only a DNA test could tell, and all interested parties have decided not to do that. The mystery of the Shunka-Warakan has gone on so long, nobody wants to risk solving it. And finally, the Penderel paddler, a proposed cryptid lake monster from Idaho. First sighted in 1944, the paddler is said to be 20 to 30 feet long and bearing a resemblance to the Loch Ness Monster. But sightings and evidence are limited. However, Lake Penderel is one of the deepest lakes in the United States, and because of that, the U.S. Navy did submarine testing there. It was during one of these tests that some of the more credible reports come from. The report describes a 30-foot-long living creature encountered while a test submersible was mapping the lake. There have also been sonar sightings reported by the Cryptozoology Club from North Idaho College. In 1984, it described large blips underwater, as well as unexplained wakes on the surface. Then, in 1985, a teacher named Julie Green was on the lake with some friends when she noticed a large, V-shaped wake cross in front of her boat. Then she spotted a large, gunmetal gray object undulating in and out of the water. She gave chase, but eventually it disappeared. In 2007, this photo was taken by Jay Mock, a journalist from the River Journal. If you look in the bottom right corner, you can see what is purported to be the paddler. Is this truly a plesiosaur? A prehistoric lake monster? I doubt it. If there's anything that big living in Lake Penderel, my guess is it's either a white sturgeon or, less likely, an alligator gar. White sturgeons are native to the lakes and rivers of northern North America and can get up to 20 feet in length, and they could be mistaken for a large lake monster. As for the alligator gar, they aren't native to the area, but they are an invasive species and have a wide range of habitats. So, it's not outside the realm of possibility that an abnormally large alligator gar might have found its way into the lake, and with very little competition, has been eating and growing for decades, as they can live an estimated 95 years or more. Still, overall, the evidence on this cryptid is so thin, I'm going to say it's probably nothing. But lake monsters are good for tourism, so I'll leave it up to you to decide. So there you have it, 3 cryptids with 3 entirely different levels and types of evidence. The weird and wild sometimes get even stranger the more you learn about them, so stay curious. It's possible that you might find the next undiscovered zoological oddity, or maybe even a real monster. Stay nerdy, my friends. Oh, yeah, dang.